Welcome to another episode of the PLA podcast. I am so blessed to have a wonderful guest on today. Madhavi, welcome to the PLA podcast. It's so lovely to have you.
Thank you, Dunya. I'm excited and both nervous at the same time. This is my first podcast.
Oh, it's going to be so special then. We get to celebrate it and I'm so excited for you. And I'm excited for us to be able to learn so much more from your story. Before we get into it, I would love to formally introduce you to our audience today for anyone listening that hasn't had the absolute privilege of getting to know you personally or professionally and just running through your story. So, meet Madhavi Nomula, resilient, self motivated technical leader and scrum master with over 20 plus years of experience in financial applications. Broad expertise spanning solution development, application integration, and systems retirements. Recognized as a high achiever, adaptable leader, and subject matter expert with a deep appreciation for how technology and business need to align to drive success. Actively engaged in business transformation to agile processes, has led teams, served on committees, and contributed to employee engagement and diversity councils, driving initiatives that promote diversity and inclusion. Passionate about health and wellness, organizing workplace challenges to encourage others to stay active, and of course, outside of work, loves gardening, travel, and spending time outdoors. It's such a treat to have you on here, Madhavi. Welcome to the PLA podcast.
Thank you, Dunya. It's amazing to be here. I've been following your podcast series and yeah, I'm excited.
We've been having quite the journey, and I'm so excited. I would love for you to take myself and our audience today on a little bit of a journey back through time to let us know like where it all started. Where did your story truly begin?
Wow. You're taking me back 20 years ago. So it's ground zero, right? Yeah, it was like new country, right? And you're starting out your career, your family, and learning your ropes. Uh, so I had fortunately an amazing uh, family here, and then we had friends to support me in that journey, and also amazing team. I would say when I started out, I was started out as a consultant and worked for a year with the company, and then took a break. And so I started out in as an analyst, and started out with coding. Um, and developing systems in basically ERP systems. And yeah, it was an amazing journey, I would say.
I'd be so curious to know actually at that time, right when you were studying, like starting as a consultant, I'd say even almost before then, what advice do you wish you had known then, knowing everything that you know now?
Um, so when you start out, like any new person who is starting out their career, I would say you are fully focused on developing your technical skills at that time, and you're learning those ropes and having a great team who supports you. I think that makes a big difference in that journey. And fortunately, I had an amazing team and a manager who supported me. And in my journey, in that growth journey, I started out as an analyst, and uh, while I was working on coding, I also had to learn making sure that I was following all the design standards, coding standards, and best practices. We had to have peer reviews and making sure that we are following the appropriately testing procedures, and making sure that you are migrate when you are migrating from lower environment to higher environment, you are conducting those reviews and ensuring that the performance is also on track for the code that you are developing. So yeah, that was I would say any new employee, you have to learn those ropes, and you having that amazing team, it makes a big difference.
Absolutely. I love that piece, especially at the beginning. And to be honest, even anyone listening that may be midway through their journey or even towards the end of their career may get so much benefit of just asking themselves, am I on the right team right now? And am I on a team that actually serves my growth and what I'm trying to create here and what I'm capable of doing? And I think you're right. When we have the right team, it creates the circumstances and environment that allows us to play at such a bigger scale and a greater level.
I agree.
Amazing. Oh, so good. Okay, so my next question really would be, so many of us talk about the highlights of a career. All the big awards and the achievements, and I found so much more. Like I found it a lot more interesting to ask people and really find out what were the biggest challenges of your career, what were the biggest lessons, and how did you learn from those lessons and opportunities, and what did you take from them?
What I've noticed is basically when you are learning, you are in a continuous learning path, and all the high achievers you see, right? You are making sure that you are upskilling and taking those opportunities whenever you are presented with those opportunities, and those opportunities are your, I would say, uh, getting you upskilled. You learn from that opportunities, and you get insights like, where am I and where do I need to go, and those are the things that you need to be ready for. I would say.
Absolutely. I think that you're right in the sense where, those challenges are actually those moments that provide you the knowledge and the understanding of what's that gap between where I am, where I need to go, and what's still on the table for me to be able to seize as an opportunity. And there's so much there. I'd be curious to know, like, what were those great, what we call pivotal moments in your own career where you're thinking, at that minute, that decision, that job, that mentor, that change ended up shifting everything for me.
I had like some managers that were really, influential in that. Uh, I would say, um, you know, when you have a manager who supports you and encourages you, and that makes a big difference. And understanding the alignment when you are aligned with your organization and the goals, making sure that you also understand the department goals, when you have an IT department, and also your team goals. Basically, there is a roadmap, right, for your team, and so understanding that and leveraging that, and getting yourself aligned is the first step. I would say create a framework when you're creating that goals, and yeah, that would make your journey more interesting.
Oh, I love that. And I think getting aligned is such an important piece, and so many of us understand it as like a team cohesion or being on the same page, or really having that synchronistic energy where we're all working together. We may not be playing the same roles, but we understand what we bring to the table, what our teammates bring to the table, what our strengths, what our weaknesses or opportunities. And when everyone's really working together on a common goal, and there seems to be a great flow, there's so much that can happen. And I love that you bring this up, this piece of alignment with your team, alignment with your organization, alignment with what you're trying to create.
Yes, I would say, you have a culture, organization culture. When I started out, it was customers come first, so you need to make sure that you are aligned with the business,
Mm,
and the customer needs are very important when you are creating the systems, and making sure that you are supporting. There are service level agreements that you need to adhere to, and so creating all those, making sure that you are supporting the business as needed is
incredible.
important.
Yeah, I love that. And that finding that alignment between what the organization is trying to create and what it stands for as an organization's culture, and make sure that it also aligns with your values. I think that that's so important and allows you to thrive in those opportunities. So good. I'd be really curious to know also, what have been those resources or instruments or people that made your career so much more than what it was in that moment? Like, what were, you're thinking, if it was only like, if it wasn't for that, my life would be completely different.
Yes, first of all, your team. You should have, you know, the team. You should be like a team player, working with your team, and those resources are first your first resources, right? Like uh, they, you get a lot of, you learn a lot from your team, and then the next thing would be, outside participating in committees and understanding the business. Whatever industry you're in, getting to know that is first, uh, is highly important, I would say. And fortunately, I had those resources, understanding the business that we are in, and you know getting to participate in those events helped me understand that, you know in my industry, and also keeping up with the IT side of it.
Yeah.
um, you know there are many forums, technical forums, that you can be part of, and subscribing to the technical newsletters, like if you are in certain technology like Oracle, or uh, for instance, and or a data integration, right? A data integration technology, so you really need to keep up with those technical news and understand what's changing in the industry and keep up with it, and
And
be presented when you have those opportunities. Take those opportunities, like attending the conferences, networking, and yeah, making that connections is very important, I would say.
I love that. I think there's so much value to that, and reminding people to stay on top of these changes, and taking advantage of the resources that they have available to them. Like whether it was that those subscriptions, or staying on top of things, attending these conferences, networking. It makes me think there's probably so many of us listening to this recording that are thinking, wait a minute, am I really utilizing all the resources that are actually available to me? Or am I passing up on some great opportunities that could be that stepping stone, that could be that little edge that's given to me that would change everything 6 months from now? Amazing. So, Madhavi, I'd be curious to know. I know that a lot of people have been talking about this big buzzword called AI. They're thinking, okay, what's going on here? I'd love to get your perspective on how you see it, just like changing and shifting things for you in the industry, and what are you most excited about for it?
Sure, yeah. AI is not new, right? It's been there for a while. You have those devices, your smartphone. It's got Siri. It's AI basically, and you have those Alexa. Amazon Alexa, which is another chatbot. Yeah, so it has been there for a while now. It's not totally new, and uh, Gen AI is a totally new technology now that we are getting into agentic AI, and yeah, that is an amazing technology. I would say it makes you more efficient and uh, faster, and I would say the agentic AI is more interesting now to hear more about it. Uh, the smart cars, the electric cars, it makes give you a destination. You input your destination, and it's a self-driving car. It's amazing to see that technology. It's basically all that is behind the scenes is all AI, right? How it makes the decisions, where to stop for charging, um, and what is the when to take the exits, and when to change the lanes, and all that is amazing to see. And in terms of at workplace, using Copilot and summarizing those meeting notes, reviewing those, asking questions, and to the AI is exciting for me. And now learning a lot, making me more efficient, I would say, uh, faster as well.
It's amazing. Yeah, yeah. It's incredible to see, like you said, how the world is changing and a lot of different industries are shifting. And as a consumer, as a client, seeing these self-driving cars and in the workplace, like you said, receiving those notes from our meeting, like AI assistants that are in the room, asking questions that weren't answered in the meeting to, these AI integrations. It's amazing and it's going to change the world. It already has and it continues to. And it's definitely providing a lot of opportunity for all of us to just step up our game.
Yes, it's very exciting, I would say.
Madhavi, I'm curious to know, what are you most excited about for the future? Like, what are things that you're looking forward to in your career and things that are still upcoming?
So, yeah, using AI tools, I would say learning more of prompt engineering. I think that's something that I'm looking forward to because, you can learn a lot, be better at using these AI tools. And, the growth comes from, uh, getting out of your comfort zone, and the change is there, is coming, and so it's already here, I would say, and you better get on the train and learn all these tools that are presented to you. I would highly recommend anybody listening to, uh, just get on board.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'd love to ask you, one of my favorite questions. We are on the PLA podcast, and I just want to know, what has been your experience with PLA since you've joined? What has been your biggest takeaway ever since?
Yeah, it's been like an amazing growth, I would say. Getting out of that comfort zone, talking to you on this podcast is something that is really amazing. I'm always this consumer, uh, listening to different podcasts. I've stumbled upon this lot of different podcasts in the past, and one of them was uh, focus on this, and that's an amazing. It's just uh, provides you like a framework on how to achieve those goals that you have set forward to. And PLA has been that next step for me, I would say, in understanding the trajectory of how to accomplish those goals. And you know proximity, what PLA teaches you, proximity and visibility, and communication. That has been an amazing thing for me, learning all those different buzzwords and getting on board with that.
I think you're so right. That piece around PLA and the accomplishment of those goals. So many of us have goals, and so many of us have dreams and desires, and oftentimes don't know where to take the steps or how to take the steps or being accountable to taking our steps. That we may know what they are, but we just haven't followed through. And providing that community of like-minded people and mentors, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you in PLA amongst our PLA members. That you bring such a light and just such a pure heart. It's been such a true gift to have you in there.
Thank you.
Oh, Madhavi, thank you so much for your time today and for answering these incredible questions that we have, and providing so much wisdom from your experience and your insights and your perspective. I really want to thank you for your time and you joining us on the PLA podcast today.
Thank you, Dunia.
I just wanted to, if anyone's curious about what is PLA and like where they can get a little bit more information, I want to put this QR code on the screen. This is where we host our free trainings. If you scan it with your phone, you'll just find out the information about the next one. There's so much value the leaders provide in this totally free training. I've attended, so many of our leaders have attended, many of our community members have also gone. It'll give you a little bit of an insight of what happens in there. And I have no doubt when you will leave, you'll be blown away by what happens. And Madhavi and I have had the absolute pleasure and privilege of being part of PLA and getting to know each other through this community. So just didn't want to leave anyone hanging in case you were curious. Madhavi, I'm curious if there's anything that you'd like to leave our audience with, any insights, any words of wisdom.
I would say every stage of your life is different.
Mhm.
So, having those frameworks in place, a structure in place is important. And don't say yes to everything. Understand where you are in terms of your career, and setting those goals, invest in your career is uh, will pay a long ways.
Oh, amazing. So, so, so true. The importance of investing in your career and not just investing in everything and anything, it's just choosing very wisely and being more intentional with those choices. I think it's a great insight and such great feedback. Madhavi, thank you again for your time, for your insights, for your expertise. And we will catch everyone on the next PLA podcast.
Thank you.
Oh, wishing you all the best.